Saam met ons in die ateljee, we're going to our best English now, American English. The Blue Man Group, Jonathan Clapham, Meridian is your name.
That's Meridian, yes.
Meridian, that's your Blue Man name. And then also with us, Tony Aguirre.
That's pretty good. It's Aguirre.
Aguirre?
Yeah. I'll give that close. 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Tony Tequila. Just going to go there. Agave. Aguirre, where?
Aguirre, yeah.
Where's that from?
It's Peruvian, yeah.
Oh, Peruvian.
Yeah.
We all thought like Antonio. I thought like Mexican.
Antonio. Well, I've gotten that before.
Yeah. That's you get second time. Let's start, Jonathan. Let's start with you. Being one of the Blue Men, and you've been recognized once in Las Vegas. Hopefully in South Africa they're going to recognize you now as well.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see. Just a bit of your own background, and it's funny. I mean, from classical into this and a bit of drama that you also studied. You know, how did you end up here?
Yeah, my background is mainly in just regular theater. I have went to a conservatory acting program. I also studied classical piano. And then once I finished studies, I moved to New York City to start an acting career, as one does. And saw an audition for Blue Man Group, tried out, and it worked out, and I've been doing it ever since.
So how long have you been doing it now?
Somewhere around 11 or 12 years. Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And it's such, just for people, just for background, I mean, it started with one Blue Man in Central Park with, the 80s, like the funeral for the 80s. And do you think, I mean, you guys probably know the founding members, Chris Wink and Matt and Phil. Are they still surprised that it went so big? Starting with one act in Central Park.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they ever, I can't obviously exactly speak for them, but I don't think they intended for this whole thing to unravel in this way. I think it was just something that they felt inspired to do in the moment, and then for some reason there are these crazy reactions to the blue paint and to the whole persona, and it just became so successful that they kind of had to follow that and see where it would go. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, though, it's kind of inevitable, though, because the way people respond to the show, the way people leave the theater with that feeling of excitement and joy that they've experienced, I think it, as unexpected as it may have been, I think it was kind of inevitable that it would turn out like this.
That it would explode. Antonio, just to place you're one of the musicians, but for me again, you majored in international affairs with a concentration in anthropology, history, and religion, and now you're playing guitar in the Blue Man Group.
Yeah,
with the stage production. How did you end up here?
Right. Well, when I was in college, I got whatever degree was quickest, and it was that. And then
that's an honest.
And then right out of college, I just went back to playing rock and roll music, and I toured for a number of years with independent rock bands. And when one of those kind of fizzled out in an amazing explosion of true like rock and roll, this is the end of the band. I came across the Blue Man auditions in Orlando for band members, and I took an audition, and I was lucky enough to get the spot.
Wow. Yeah. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to chat after news headlines more, because I want to find out exactly what happens in the show. And I also want to know exactly what is the blue stuff you put on your face. I want to know what that is. So bly geskakel vir jou nuusoortrekke. Yes, I geskakel op die Groot Ontbyt. With us in studio, the Blue Man Group. We've got one of the Blue Men, and then we've got one of the musicians. Let's start again with Meridian. Meridian, I want to say, can I join? Because I'm a bald head as well.
Yeah, well, you'd have to shave the beard, I think. But
that's going to be disgusting.
Yeah, might be an odd-looking Blue Man.
So now, just to recap, if someone just tuned in, the Blue Man started off as one guy in Central Park. It's becoming huge. 35 million people already saw it. I mean, it's just amazing. But it's also a resident show still in New York and in Berlin, all around the world. And it's been running, just a bit of background about that, it's been running for years. And where are you based? Vegas?
Yeah. We have 6 resident shows out in the world. You mentioned Berlin. It started in New York. That was the first one. Then Boston and Chicago, Las Vegas, and Orlando, Florida. And just last year, we hit our 25th anniversary. 25-year anniversary of the show. So yeah, we've had so many people come through and love the show. We get a lot of people who see the show and then gather all their friends and they come back and see the show again. It's really quite a phenomenon. Yeah.
Well, the first thing I thought about was why blue and not green. I think a lot of people may be thinking that as well. Do you guys have an answer to that,
Yeah.
or is blue just a beautiful color? I mean, you're in the right area because we support the Blue Bulls here in Pretoria.
No.
So blue is the right color.
Yeah, I think it's blue is one of those colors that we get asked this all the time, and we never have a proper answer because it's one of those things, you know, in the creative process. Sometimes you just have an inspiration, you know, and I think blue was one of those aha moments of inspiration that just made sense.
And it just worked.
But I think the reason why it works is blue is just a really accessible color. You know, it's the sky, it's the ocean, it's things that everyone can relate to. And much like the Blue Man character is a character that, although might seem a little strange and different at first, is very, very relatable to everyone.
And it's no dialogue. It's music. The Blue Men never say something.
No.
You act everything out. We're still going to get back to that paint. But music-wise, with like a world tour like this, is it a new show, new music? And I know they've toured like with Moby, and I can totally see him also as a Blue Man and everything.
Right.
And even that CD that Dave Matthews played on. So there's been some remarkable music. As part of this, you know, the history of the Blue Man. Is that what you work on? New music for a new show?
We have an entire lab that's actually called The Lab in New York City that kind of brainstorm all sorts of things from new material, new bits, new songs, new instruments. You'll see some ridiculous instruments come out of there, and I mean that in the best way. And as for the world tour, because I think you'd asked about that, this is the newest version of the Blue Man Group. So there's material here. If you come see the show in South Africa, you won't find anywhere else in the world at any other Blue Man show.
Wow.
The most difficult thing to do in the show as a Blue Man
Keep a straight face.
for the whole time.
yeah.
So and what is that paint? What is that? You know, how do you apply it and then take it off?
It's a thick grease paint makeup, so it never dries. It gets everywhere. We have a fun way that people ask us for our autograph after the show. We come out for photos, but we don't use a pen. We just take some of our makeup and put it on their program.
Okay.
Like a thumbprint. But it never dries, so people that'll get everywhere. The whole backstage, they have to really thoroughly cleanse the theater after we're done.
Okay, so it doesn't dry and it peels like a face mask.
It's just coat our heads in it. Yeah.
When it comes to preparation, behind the scenes kind of stuff, how long beforehand do you guys need to prepare and start makeuping and getting everything together and ready for the show?
For 8 o'clock show, we would start at about 6:15, about an hour 45, and first thing we do is we get together with a band on the stage. We play through a bunch of music, we check the sound, and that's the beginning of our process. We get together, we get on the same page. We play music together. We start joking around together. It's all part of our process of getting connected to each other,
Getting that energy up for the show.
Yeah, so that then we can share that connection with the
That
audience
unity
during
kind of thing,
during the show. And then the makeup process is about the last hour of that, but even that's not continuous. It takes about 40 minutes to get all the way into the costume.
Wow.
Your arms, is that the drumming? Is that muscles?
That's pure
That's
muscle.
pure muscle.
Can you see that?
Yeah, solid.
And it's really just working the drums.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't, our listeners can't see it. It's just amazing how your arms are formed.
Well, you'll notice I'm not a drummer, so I'm lacking some of that over here.
That's fine. Your hair's making up for it. Don't worry.
That's what I have, really. That's how I get the job. Yeah.
So just quickly, the show's still in Joburg, but Cape Town, we coming down to Cape Town.
Yeah.
I'm a Blue Man. So when is it happening in Cape Town? Where? Probably.
Let's see. We're here till the 20th, and then whatever the following week is, we're there for 8 shows in Cape Town. Then we'll be back up here for that following week after that.
All the specific dates and performances are available on blueman.com.
Okay.
So if you're curious, all of it's on there.
Follow the World Tour link.
Yeah.
Yes. Last question. What are the 3 founding members up to? Are they still involved? Is it still what they do?
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
still based in New York and still running
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's like I said, there's part of a larger team that is also able to contribute in different ways, but they still have creative input, and I mean, they're the founders. What do you?
And it's still
you know,
operating. You guys still
Yeah.
operating, which is a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
sign.
Yeah,
You're doing
absolutely.
something right.
They came and spent some time with us in China
right,
when
yeah.
we were
Okay.
there. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
we
fantastic.
see them all the time. Yeah.
And people still think you're from Australia. Do you get that?
I don't know. I
A
haven't.
lot of people
but I
in South
guess,
Africa
yeah.
say, no,
Oh,
the
I don't
guys
know,
are
I've never heard
from,
that.
from Australia. So
Yeah.
it's so weird. So
We did do the show there for
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Real
want some
pleasure.
of that
All the best.
paint. You don't have the blue on, but you can put some of your head sweat on this program for me.
If
That
you
would be
like,
great.
sure.
Yeah, sure.
How special is that?